Hello, how are you? This is Rabbi Shlomo Zalman Bregman of the Jewish Executive Learning Network and BregmanSuccess.com. This is the AskRabbiB series. I think we're up to episode 10, so thank God for that. We're up to episode 10 in the AskRabbiB series. There's a little hashtag. Today's question comes from Silvia in España. So Silvia, ¿qué es tu pregunta? ¿Qué pregunta quieres hacerme? ¿Qué quieres saber? Let's turn it over to you. Háblame.
Hola, soy Silvia, te hablo desde España y me gustaría hacerte una pregunta. Quisiera saber cómo mantienes la motivación para hacer todo aquello que te gusta y que te aporta mucho en tu vida. Muchas gracias y chao.
Okay, Silvia, thank you so very much for the question. Muchas gracias para la pregunta. Te lo agradezco mucho. A lot of people don't realize that I am Spanish speaking, que soy hispanohablante. I'm a Spanish speaker. A lot of people don't know. They think I'm just some regular white Ashkenazi guy. And it is true. Bregman is an Ashkenazi name. My father's family, the Bregmans, are from Belarus, from about 100 years ago. That's when they first came to the United States, a little bit more than 100 years ago. But my mother's side of the family is from Spain and Morocco, Spain and the Spanish part of Morocco. So I do speak Spanish. Yo puedo hablar, escribir, leer, comunicarme bastante bien. También que soy abogado, voy a la corte. I lawyer in Spanish, read, write, speak. I could do it. Tengo acento de norteamericano. I got my North American white guy accent going on, but that's not my fault. That's where I'm from. But I do speak Spanish, and those of you in the public who write to me, scroll to me, communicate to me from Spanish countries, you're sometimes surprised. You're sending me a nice email, and I write you back in Spanish, and you love it. Anyway, I love it too. So Sylvia, thanks a lot for your question and giving me the opportunity to flash a little Espanol to the viewing public and fans and friends we have out there. Your question, for those who maybe didn't understand your 15 seconds, hola, soy Silvia, and they didn't know what you were saying past, hey, my name is Silvia, is this. You're basically asking me, how do I stay motivated? Okay, to continue the video, I don't know if you could tell what happened. I just had some technical trouble. My camera, where I rested by the window, fell. That was a little weird. I think I fixed it with more balance, prayer, and Scotch tape. Back to where I just was. What Sylvia was asking me, before we had a little bit of technical difficulty with the iPhone, whose screen is probably made out of like air. If you blow on it, it could crack. Baruch Hashem, thank God this one didn't. What Sylvia wants to know is, how do I stay inspired? How do I stay motivated? How do I stay on top of my game to accomplish all the good things that I want? It's a great question. It's actually one of the questions that I am asked the most. I get asked a lot of questions every single day. And one of the most frequent ones is, what motivates you? How do you keep going? How do you stay hot, excited, inspired, pumped up, focused? Don't you have days when you feel blah? How do you keep going? You are known to work like 100 hours a week. How do you do that? How do you not burn out? Do you always work this hard? Do you always go so fast? Like, what's propelling you? You know what I'm trying to say? I get these kind of questions a lot in different permutations. Maybe you, whoever's watching the video, if you're familiar with my body of work and my style, maybe you wondered that. So like, what is it? How do I do it? What's going on in my head? So I'll tell you like this, Sylvia. Let's charlar un poquito, okay? Vamos a charlar. What I would tell you is this for starters. Number one, motivation is something that's very unique to a person. Motivation to me basically means like a reason to take action, something that propels you, something that compels you to take action. What's burning inside of you that gets you to move? I think in life there's a lot of reasons to take action. Different people get motivated by different things. I can tell you in the few minutes we'll have together right now some of the things that motivate me, okay? Now my motivation is largely informed first and foremost by my being Jewish and Jewish beliefs that I have, which stem from the Torah and which forms a lot of my worldview. And it's not just my worldview about life in the world, but me, my mission, my purpose, what I'm here in this world to do. And I tell you like this, okay? The Torah view, this is the Jewish view, and this is what I believe, is that every single one of us was created for a specific, unique purpose. and that when we are born, God sends us down into this world to accomplish a certain finite set number of things that we have the opportunity to do. Maybe we'll pull it off, maybe we won't. Maybe we'll get many of them done, or most, or some, or a few, or we'll just blow it. But that's what we're down in this world to do. And at a certain predestined time, God will take our soul and return it back to heaven and evaluate us on how we did. It's beyond the scope of this video, and I have a bunch related to this topic on YouTube. But how do you know what is your mission, your purpose, so on and so forth, okay? I believe that for me, my motivation largely, a big part of the pie chart for me, stems from the fact that I'm very clear on what do I want to do with my life, the legacy I want to lead. Sorry about the disruption, another one to this clip. I was getting calls from California, had to silence that. Okay, just to keep going. For me, a big part of my legacy that I want to live and I want to lead is basically I want to leverage all of the blessings and talents and abilities that God gave me to help as many people as I can in my lifetime. Spiritually, materially, wake them up, inspire them, and get them the results they want. That's a major part of my legacy and mission in this world. I'm very clear with myself as to what I'm able to do, what my talents are, and what I'm able to do. In some areas of life, I'm really very, very, very not talented. In some, God gave me a huge amount of ability. In some areas, I'm somewhere in between. Like if I would start to sing right now, if I would start to sing for you, you would be horrified at the poor quality of my singing, okay? Because that's not part of my mission in this world. But when it comes to waking people up, inspiring them, making Jewish wisdom relevant and accessible for people, God gave me ability in that area, and that's a big part of my mission. So for me, Sylvia, a big part of what motivates me, and I'm opening up to you right now, is a big part of what motivates me is an enormous awareness of what I'm capable of accomplishing and the blessings and talents God gave me, and the obligation to actually use them before my time is up. Now look, I'm 38 years old, closer to 39. So let's say I'm about 40. Let's say, okay, I'm almost 40. Now a lot of people say, you don't look that, you don't act it. Trust me, if I would shave this off and wear a backwards baseball cap, maybe that'll be my Purim costume, you would see that people think I could be mid-late 20s, but I'm not. I'm closer to 40. And I'm healthy, and I like to believe I have a lot of time left in this world, but tomorrow is guaranteed to nobody. That's a Jewish view. And it makes sense. You don't know how much time you have in this world. And so I feel a big pressure on me from myself to do, give, accomplish as much as I can in this lifetime while I'm here. And so that for me, Sylvia, is a major piece of my motivation. Let me tell you a quick story. When I was just in LA and Beverly Hills, I spoke about this on Saturday night. I don't know where you were, but you weren't there in LA, Los Angeles, conmigo. So I'll tell you the story now, okay? And I'm just going to keep dropping Spanish along the way just because I'm having fun with this. Clip in Español. So here's a story. Now, I don't think this ever really happened, but it's a kind of story that we tell within Jewish tradition, which in this brand of story, it teaches a lesson even if it never actually happened. It makes sense. Let's say there was a guy, and he lived a long time ago, like a lot of these stories are, and he lived in Europe, because that's a nice backdrop for these kind of stories. And his name was, let's call him David. And David was a very pious man, a very good spiritual Jew, and he kept all the commandments, except for one. He would not give tzedakah. Oh, sorry, lunch, man. Indigestion, right? He wouldn't give tzedakah. He would not give charity. So when the rabbi came to him and said, hey, you know what? There's a hole in the roof of the La Sinagoga, the synagogue, the shul, the Beit Knesset. Can you give us some money so we could patch the roof because we're getting rained on? He's like, I'm not giving you nothing, David said, right? And then let's say somebody knocked on his door once and he said, oh, mi hija se va a casarse mañana. My daughter's getting married tomorrow. No tenemos dinero para la comida. We don't have even money for the food, for the meal, for the wedding. ¿Nos puedes ayudar? He said, lárgate de mi vista, quítate de mi casa, get out of here. Not interested in you. He gave him nothing, okay? So as the story goes, this man eventually passes away and he goes up to heaven And he sees in line there all of the souls of the people that had passed away that day in line. And in the front there was like a malach, an angel with a clipboard, and talking to them. So he's like, okay, I guess this is the line to get into heaven. So I don't want my phone falling again here. Careful. Okay, whew. Hashem, please. No hands. So as he's getting to the front of the line, he can see that the angel, the ángel, el ángel está haciendo preguntas, asking questions to the people in the cola, in the line, and the angel's saying to each person, how much tzedakah, charity, did you give in your lifetime? And that's the question that the person has to answer to get into heaven. And as you can imagine, that is not a question that this guy wants to hear, right? Because this is not where he excelled. So as he gets to the front of the line, trying to think what he's going to say, the angel says, okay, David. He goes, hey, how'd you know my name? He said, well, of course we knew your name. We were waiting for you. You know, like a package of food has an expiration date. We knew when you were coming back. David, no fooling around now. How much charity did you give in your lifetime? And the malach, the angel, looks back and at him, and the guy has no answer. He's like, I don't know, I couldn't hear you. Can you repeat the question again? So the angel's like, all right, humoring him a little. He's like, how much money did you give to charity in your lifetime? And he says, I'm not sure. You know, it's a funny thing to ask. And the angel's like losing it. He's like, I mean, there's a line behind me, you know? So come on, let's get on with this, right? So eventually he starts to realize that he can't delay for eternity with this question. So David says, okay, I admit it. Nothing. I gave nothing. And every time I say this, I always picture Jerry Seinfeld kind of going, nothing, you know? But that's what he said. I gave nothing. Okay, you got me. But if you name right now the name of the charity, the organization, the cause, the Rabbi's Fund, you know, La Meshkina, que se va a casarse mañana. You name the person getting married, you name the cause, the organization, you name it. I'll write a check now, any amount, whatever you want. I'm pretty rich. I could do it. So the angel looks back at David and he says to him with sadness in his eyes, he says, "Ay, you don't seem to understand." He said, up here, we don't take checks. We only take receipts. You hear what I'm saying, Sylvia? Hear what I'm saying, everybody else? We have to live with an awareness that this is the lifetime for writing checks. And I don't just mean financial, the time to do, to make, to help, to inspire, to give, to share, to uplift, to perform the commandments. We're in this world to do. Up there, just a time for receipts when we leave this world. It's a time we basically present before God everything we did, and you say, okay, Hashem, God, my creator, this is what I did in my lifetime. What do you think? You know, are you happy with it? What do you think? This is what I did. So this is an awareness, Sylvia, that I live with very, very much. That's in my heart, and I carry this with me, and it's real for me. I realize very strongly the abilities that God gave me, and the talent, and everything from A to Z. I know myself very well, and I also know where I'm weak and where I'm strong, and I believe what I'm supposed to do with it. And I feel any pressure that I feel on myself, it's an internal pressure to produce, make, help, uplift, and that's what motivates me. That's what pushes me, because I don't want to waste. I don't want to waste my life. I don't want to waste what God gave me. In Judaism and Al-Judaismo, there's something that we call in Hebrew, Bal Tashchis. Bal Tashchis is a prohibition, es prohibido, es pecado, to waste something, desperder. You follow me? You can't waste. So si hay comida, you have food, and it's perfectly good food, para tirar la basura, to throw it in the trash, that's wasteful. You follow what I'm saying? That's waste. That's called Bal Tashchis. And a person do Bal Tashchis on himself, you could waste yourself. You could have such ability to do so much good in this world, and you waste it. You waste it online, you wasted texting, you wasted watching una pantalla, a screen all your days. There's a lot. So I don't want to waste. If I don't want to waste food, which is a probably a value that I still have, not just from the Torah, but I don't know, 5-6 generations after coming from Belarus, still in us. I don't want to waste food, and I don't want to waste my life. And that's a big part of what pushes me. How can I best deploy the talents God gave me into the world so I can accomplish as much as I can with the time I have for as many people as I can? Because up there, they don't take checks. They only take recibos. Receipts, okay? Anyway, I hope that helped. There's a lot of other stuff that motivates me and springs me to action, and that's sort of like a cuchillo, a knife, and mi espalda, my back, that's propelling me and twisting me on a daily basis to keep going. But that should be enough for now, because it was a bit of a long clip, a little bit of camera trouble, but I hope that helped. If you'd like to submit to me a question, drop me a message. Maybe Facebook's a good place. Probably a link up over here, based on the color of my sweatshirt. So maybe a white one, a white one, facebook.com/Rabbi Bregman. You can find me under the name Rabbi Bregman on Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube. I mean, I'm not hard to find. I look like this wherever you want to find me, so you should find me. I have to go. It's getting late in the day. Have a great day. We'll see you the next time. Thanks for checking out the AskRabbiB series. I'm out of fingers for 10, so 10 plus 1 will be the next one. Till then, bye.